What's going on, everybody? Raphael here, and today we're taking a look at Mega Construx Heroes Series 2. Now this is the new rollout of the Heroes series where it has 5 figures per set instead of 6, and that's totally fine with me. Not really a big deal. It's less to track down, less to have to worry about. It does mean that there won't be like 2 and 2 and 2 from any particular series, but I don't really think that that's that really big a deal. Anyway, you get some cool figures in this series. But first, I do want to point out that the back of the packaging is a little bit different now. You do get this more just plain cardboard style package, like we've seen if you are familiar with the Masters of the Universe Heroes. So that sort of a deal, which is kind of a bummer. You do get, I mean, it's not that big a deal. You do get this little tab here for easy open packaging, so that's pretty neat. I'm excited about that. But yeah, so the back is different, whereas with, the previous series, you get this nice glossy cardboard. It's just this plain thing, which is probably better for the environment, question mark? I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about the figures themselves. You've got Kratos here, which is a recolor from the previous Waves figure, but you get some new accessories, which is kind of neat, so that's pretty cool. We've got Raphael, which is the 3rd installment of the Ninja Turtles with the more kind of Eastman and Laird comic sort of styling to them. You've got a brand new series of Borderlands 3 with Claptrap, which is really cool. It's a totally new mold, nothing like the previous micro figures, so that's really neat to have. And then what I'm most excited about is these two guys right here. We've got Predator with Dutch, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, in his little mud gear. And then, of course, the titular character, the Predator himself, looking really, really cool with a ton of new molded parts. I know there are some previously used parts from some other figures in here, but I think they did a great job of making it look unique to this character. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get these guys open, and we will check them out right now. Alright guys, so here we have the Mega Construx Heroes Wave 2 ready to go. So let's take a look at Kratos first. Here he is. And he's actually quite nice. I'm going to move the camera up a little bit just so we can get some light in here. He's actually really nice and quite different from the original figure, which I have right here and I'll show off. So you can see the skin tone is actually a bit darker. All of the armor bits are a different color, and this one actually has printing on it. It's not just this kind of brown coloration. You've got the little prints here and there. The back, you actually get an extra little clip piece on the back so you can store the Leviathan axe. And the axe itself is also different. It's the same printing design, but I don't know if you can tell here. One is white printing on the original figure, and then this one actually is silver printing, and they even pick out the blade of the axe edge. So that's really, really nice. And then he's also got the Defender. Is it the Defender shield? I don't remember the name of the shield, but he's got his shield as well. So that's just a really nice touch. You get this little bit in the center here. That's an extra piece. But other than that, it's the same mold for the figure. But as you can see, just a little bit different. And even the prints are a little bit different here. It looks like he's got some actual scarring here on his abdomen, indicating some fighting. And the print itself is a little bit different, going around his arms and stuff like that. So it's actually a fairly different figure, which is really, really nice to see that they actually went and put all this extra effort in. And I think that's part of it being 5 figures instead of 6, they can really like zoom in on each figure and make them as good as possible. So that is Kratos, and he's really cool. He also has an extra bit of armor on the shoulders that I didn't mention. So just very, very cool. Very nice figure. I would have liked to see maybe instead of the shield, maybe with the Blades of Chaos. That would have been better with some chains or something like that. But if Mega keeps the license for the game, it's possible we may see that in a later Heroes line. So that would be really cool, I think, to have little chains attached to the arms of the Blades of Chaos. I think that would be really, really neat. So moving right along, we've got Raphael, and he differs a little bit from the other turtles, which I have Donatello here, in that he already has a red bandana, so he doesn't actually come with 2, he only comes with 1 bandana, but he has 2 sai. And I guess another thing I should point out is they have new base plates now, whereas the original figures, or the previous waves I should say, all had this 2-piece or 3-piece plate that they all stand on. These guys just have this one single plate. And I know I've heard people say that it's like cheaper or whatever, but I honestly think it's better. It's like less pieces to have around, less pieces to lose. And not everybody uses these base plates, but they are printed, so it's a nice thing to have, and it's nice to just have it all self-contained. And if they're not adding 3 pieces to every single figure, it gives them a little bit more budget to probably work in those extra little details. So really, really nice. That said, this Raphael figure is cool. He's got all the cross-hatching and stuff to make it look like he stepped right out of the comics. And you can just see that. So beyond that, it's the same basic mold as the other Turtles figures. But yeah, very neat, Raphael. So here comes one of probably my favorite figures out of this wave, and it's Claptrap from Borderlands, or Borderlands 3 specifically, I guess. But they just did a phenomenal job on this figure. You can see his entire body is printed. A little warning here, and it's got that nice kind of Borderlands cell shading sort of color scheme to it. On the top, you can see he's got a little post for adding things. He does have an antenna. He's got the little shoulder flaps here that the arms come out of, so presumably you could pop the arms out. They are on ball joints. I'm not going to, because it feels a little scary, and I don't want to mess anything up. But presumably you could, and then just fold these down, because they do go pretty much all the way down. It's a little hard to access, but the eye itself is actually a ball joint, so you can move the eye around in any direction you like. So that's really neat. Like I showed you before, the arms are ball jointed. You can rotate them around. The little hand clamps are on a rotation joint. He's got this little pad here. I'm not 100% sure what that is, because it's been a while since I played a Borderlands game, being honest. So I'm sure you guys can let me know. But here he is from the side. Again, more printing. From the back, printed on the back even. Really nicely done. And the other side as well. And we can take him off his little stand here so I can show off the wheel, which is a little rubber tire. Really nice. And the wheel also rotates side to side. So, such a cool little character. And really, really nicely done. No reused parts from any other figures. So it's an entirely new mold. So I think that's really, really cool to come out of this wave. So there is Claptrap from Borderlands 3. Next up we have Dutch from Predator. Here he is. You can see the entire figure. He does come with this arrow, which I'm going to just remove now because it kind of gets in the way. So, you can see he has it. He also comes with a bow with the real rubber string, so you could, I guess, technically fire the arrows, should you so desire. But I think it's kind of meant to be display more than anything else. Yeah, whatever. Anyhow, Dutch is painted over with a wash of this matte gray color to represent when he fell into the mud in Predator. And it does a pretty good job. Now, the face sculpt, I feel like it's probably a reused Call of Duty or Halo face sculpt. I don't know whether or not Mega still has the rights to like Terminator and all that stuff, but maybe they have the license for Predator, but not necessarily Arnold's likeness. So I don't know, or maybe they're just trying to save money by reusing parts. It's reasonable enough, but it's like not nearly as good as, say, like the Fox Mulder figure was, or, you know, the Star Trek figures. But anyway, you can see the gray paint goes all over his entire body. It's on his legs and everything. This dude's covered. And he also comes with his little torch, so he can go out into the woods and yell into the night. And then, you know, scream, "Come here! Kill me! I'm right here!" That kind of thing. You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, other than that, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about this figure. He's pretty much just a half-naked Mega figure with a gray wash. But it works. It's Dutch. And again, he comes with the bow and the arrow. And you can clip that in and have that drawn just like that. So, there you go. Pretty neat, right? Last, but certainly not least, is this bad boy. The Predator himself. It just is Predator. Really nicely done. I believe the forearms and the lower legs are previously used molds from other lines, but it doesn't matter, man. This dude looks super cool. The head sculpt is great. The mask, it's hard to make out, but there's even, there we go, there's even printing on the top of the mask to kind of give a weathered look. He's got the shoulder blaster, and it can rotate side to side. Really nice. He's got the sights on his helmet. He's got the backpack armor here, and it does restrict the head movement a little bit, just because the hair is obviously a solid piece, so those tendrils do tend to like get in the way, but he can still move his head to that side and relatively little nudge to the other side here. This chest armor is a rubber piece that just goes over the torso. You can see the fantastic printing all over the body to indicate the fishnet armor. Got the shoulders here, shoulders over here, and of course the claws, which are one solid piece that go into the fist and are really cool. I almost wish there was like a little peg or something that pegged into the forearm itself, rather than take up one of the fists, because now he can't hold anything else. But it's really just a nitpick more than anything, and I think it does a reasonable job. It looks great, and overall the figure is just absolutely phenomenal. He's got the rubber hip armor as well, and again I'll show off the back of the figure. So overall, just a really great job done on this entire line. There's not really a bad one in the bunch. Even the repaint of Kratos has enough new stuff going on to make it a worthwhile pickup. And the new molds that they've added are just absolutely phenomenal. Really well done. I'm very excited to see where the Heroes line goes from here. I'm really excited to see more figures from the Aliens and Predator franchise specifically. But again, and I've mentioned this multiple times, I would love to see larger scale models from their Black series based in the Predator or Alien series. So that's my 2 cents. But in the meantime, these guys are fantastic. I don't know when or if they'll be showing up or where they'll show up. I know that Walmart is carrying the Masters of the Universe Heroes series. These guys, you can find them mostly at your local Walmarts now. I know a lot of them are carrying them. I think every single one in my area has at least one box. So hopefully these will also start rolling out soon. I got these from Entertainment Earth. Personally, I bought a whole case of them. And I couldn't be happier with it. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It really does help me out, of course. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll be back soon. So until then, thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.